Hello Sagittarians, thank you so much for joining me. Polina here talking to you about 2023 and what is going on and how come there's so much karma for some people with Sagittarian energies and why are there so many beginnings and endings, and that may be because you haven't been good to yourself or you haven't done the best you could with your life. Sometimes the reason why we get, for example, rejected or why we get pushed out of a story is actually because we haven't done enough work on the details. So sometimes what a Sagittarian might say is that it's not worth it. It's like no matter how much I try or how hard I work, and we want to keep away from that emotion, and we want to walk away from seeing people as bad or evil or derogatory, and we have to start over. So some things don't work because you haven't been able to or available to put enough time and energy into some things. So it could be also relationships. For example, your relationship with your son or with your partner might not be working out because you haven't been doing the small things. So sometimes it takes a lot of care to do something. It takes a lot of care, a lot of love to achieve a certain result. And certain people aren't actually available sometimes to put that care and love into their situations. And I understand why that is. And I understand that it's a very tipsy-turvy world and we just don't have the time. So if you don't know what to do now and you're stuck, or things seem to be in pieces, like your life might be in smaller pieces, or your work or your job or something is just kind of like not wholesome enough or not whole enough, is because some Sagittarians will have to get back to the drawing board and will have to sketch up a completely new type of life for some people. And in other people's cases, it's just about trying to spruce up the edges and making sure that everything stands. So though not everybody is ready for a completely new type of life, not everybody's totally with me on that, but I definitely understand that also we have to change as a species. If you like, have a look at my humanity channel. I talk a lot about changing in a global sense, in the way of the world, and maybe it'll be easier to see what I'm saying. But not a lot of Sagittarians will also have an answer. I feel that there is too much ego, there is too much energy, or there is too much turbulence involved for certain people to be on board with you. And also I understand that, being ninth house rising here in Peru, it's very, very important to tell the story well, and it is important to respect yourself and other people involved and also other beings. It's not just about people, it's also about like nature, and it's also about different things seen and unseen. So not a lot of currents of energies are respected right now in the world. We are living through an era of social evolution, but also incredible disrespect given to almost anybody. And we have to be very careful with that. So we can't just throw our life around. And I think that a lot of Sagittarian people are trying to get the best result by being quick. So at the moment I'm recording this during Sagittarius season, as it is the 8th of December now, and I'm seeing that not many people really want to maybe speak to you later or share time with you because it is too rough or it is too annoying for them. So basically, it's not about censorship, actually. It's just more about keeping your ear to the ground and understanding what other people want, especially if you're producing something that another person consumes, such as music, such as art, such as anything that is made for the greater public. Also, we have to understand what you really know and you know a lot of. If you have a surplus of information, if you have a quantum, if you've reached an incredible level, stage of your development as a professor or as a human, it is also very, very awesome and very wise to share that too. But we have to pre-package things, and that sometimes sucks, especially if you are very, very devout and emotional person. Packaging and putting things together and trying to be safe with your words or actions is going to be very, very hard. And I understand that a lot of you guys don't really maybe see certain people as a successful person at the moment because it's not loud and colorful enough. I see that a lot of Sagittarian people are looking for an extreme an extreme thing, and we've been really spoiled in society on TikTok and YouTube and other video channels and media, to expect the most pristine perfection from another person, or to expect a very loud personality. And we are wanting nothing but color and tiger here, because we're trying to squeeze those energies out of ourselves and each other. We're trying to feel something, we're trying to go there. But eventually, as we're going into the rabbit year, a lot of that will be culled, and also there will be a lot of work and a lot of things that you're doing now not seeing the light of day. So also for Scorpios, it is the same. It is not possible to face society in this way. It's not possible to talk to people in this way, or it won't be made public. So for example, if you are writing a very, very emotional book, or you are doing very, very intense social work online, you might not see the light of day. It might not see the light of day, meaning it may not be published, or it may be pushed underground. And there's nothing worse than working so hard and talking yourself up and then not having that air, or not having that flight. So for some Sagittarians, if you are writing some very spicy materials at the moment, or if you're working on some very spicy things, try to wait. It's not maybe right now that you need to publish that piece of literature. Maybe you don't need to voice things right now. Try to wait. Maybe the dragon year 2024 is going to be much easier on you, because 2023 is going to be nothing but censorship for quite a lot of us. And then we can't get it all out. We can't get ourselves feeling true and feeling good about our lives and our psyche, because something is bound, or it is underneath, or it is hidden way beneath, beyond layers of other people's lives. And it is really uncomfortable and maybe even vulgar when somebody very kind of placid and also intimidating, because they're so shallow, a shallow person and not a very good professional, or not a very heard of person, might get through beyond you. And also if you're getting tired of your job, so for example, if you've written many books, if you've done many videos, if you run classes, if you are a well-known educator, it may be that you need a break from it. So that spice of life, if it's missing from work, if it's very, very grounded and it's very, very grinding what you're doing, if it's very adult, you might see an upcoming person who looks much younger and much less experienced than you getting the roles. So by June, July, there might be quite an avalanche of that. Having another person, another totally like type of thing happen instead of you, and being very annoyed. It's like, how dare you? I have worked so hard on this. I got in my degree in this very big establishment. I went to the best, finest schools. What happened? So we have to be very, very fine. I feel that it's not just knowledge that counts. It is weightlessness and the ability to hover. So for me, it's also very important, as I suppose an educator to a degree, to basically get off that serious train. Sometimes we get too serious about our work. And even if you worked very hard, sometimes the world will not pay you back, or will not say thank you. And that's very hard also for me. And it's been kind of increasing with the last few years. We are not seeing the same as we were before. And time is accelerating. People's energies are working on a different level. People are looking for something very fresh and very, not necessarily ergonomic, but very, very spunky and very creative, but also very pure during a rabbit year. So they might not like something very small about you, and then it looks like you will not be hired, or your materials will not be popular. So to protect your standing in society, or to protect your business, it's about freshness. So if you like, you can follow me on this, putting more raw food into your diet. So having a lot more salads, like fresh cucumber, like lettuce, tomatoes, trying to aid yourself in feeling that zest by drinking more fluids, and walking away from that grind and that fire that I'm feeling in you guys, also because your ruling planet is going through, your fifth house is going to go through Aries through most of the year. Is going to be very, very hard and tiring to be so strong. So if you are suddenly like gritting your teeth and you're like, yeah, you know, like I'm a fighter, I'm a warrior, I'm gonna get it, I'm gonna get it done, I'm gonna get through, that's going to get to you, and it might even get you. So the whole point of this time is to understand the tribe, and I mean, I don't understand it sometimes myself as well. I definitely need to invest in this. You know, sometimes market research, understanding, you know, things, understanding statistics. You might need to know who is listening to you. You might need to maybe get accredited for something as well. It's very, very simple actually as to how to solve a lot of problems. But the minute that your body gets tight, and you get tired of it all and you start to bulk up and get aggressive and get very kind of like noisy about how you're doing and what is your life and what is the meaning of it all, it might start to crack under pressure, and we don't want it to. Nobody does. No people, no friends, no relatives want you to crack under pressure or get tired or older. Also, notice things like increasing aging signs. This year it might be very, very hard to get so stocky and so strong. So, aging signs like suddenly getting a gut, suddenly growing gray hair, suddenly, I don't know, having withering skin or like breaking teeth or like, I don't know, falling hair or you know, yellowing, stale kind of nails or anything like, say, signs of decomposition also have to be seen very fast. Like, for example, bad breath, you know, bad odor. If your house or, you know, if your business starts to reek, you know, also if you don't have enough money coming in, if you don't have many friends visiting your house, if you're starting to feel abandoned or burdened by the world. So we have to go fresh. So look no further than therapies and medicines. I trust that most of you guys would do very well if you clean up your gut. I feel that most people would do very well if they cleaned up their gut, actually. I feel it's ironic, like everything is so plastic and so like perfected on the outside, and then nobody thinks about the nitty-gritty inside. Like nobody thinks about organs. All my work, I don't use any filters, I don't use any of that magic, I don't use any makeup in my videos. Never have. Only maybe a little bit, maybe in my first couple of years, you know, when I was like still a bit insecure as a guide. Definitely don't look at that stuff. It's inside. So like I personally, like at 37, just letting you know, rely on cleaning my organs almost regularly, pretty regularly. And that keeps me strong. And I know it is kind of like a hard price to pay for some people, because, you know, when you're cleansing, you can't really leave the house, and you have to be very, very sort of surface with people and concentrate on your inner progress, depending on how hardcore is your cleanse. But I definitely do trust that just cleansing your body and your abdomen, especially like solar plexus and your gut, and taking out any possibility of cancer, any possibility of growths and polyps and all of that yucky stuff that happens with time, and then making sure that you are not too also kind of negative about your life, and you don't treat people as toys, or you don't like talk back to people without any respect also of yourselves, you know. So this is a very, very hard time for all of us, I think, to face certain things. If you're an older Sagittarius, I definitely wouldn't even think about anything else. I would just go directly towards therapies and organic food. Definitely would be really nice to take out a lot of pathogens and allergens from your stomach, especially. So not eating oversalted foods like olives, for example, cheese and crackers and all of that. Staying out of allergens, you know, so milk products and gluten, if you can help it. It's a very rare person these days that can process these foods fine. Usually people won't, so we have to be basically very careful about all of this. And then starting to study again. So I feel that a lot of what you've grown is actually too big, bulky, or grotesque. Even if you have one-of-a-kind businesses, even if you have a one-of-a-kind positions in life, I trust it would be better to try and start again. So not for every single Sagittarius out there, because I understand that's a lot to ask, but it does seem to me that it would be better off if you start drawing up a brand new scheme or plan underneath the surface. So people are going through a lot this year. There's quite a lot of karma, and I did mention in a global video there's going to be a dark night of the soul for many during 23. because it's a naturally contracting energy, as it is the bunny, the rabbit, yeah. But we have to be very, very kind here and try to still move. So it's not just about sitting in the cave and being grumpy. It is about changing things, and also understanding, like, don't let jealousy get the better of you. Don't get judgment of other people or social media get the better of you, as it is a very, very nasty time for that. And we have to be very, very careful with those thoughts and actions and words. And it's good to speak less and agitate yourself less and grow more. So maybe you need a book, maybe you need to study certain things, maybe you need to add on something to your business. So, okay, so if we are talking, very evolved people that have already been cleansing and being very honest with themselves and keeping their lives very simple and nice, and you don't have a lot of the problems that a lot of Sagittarians might have this year. Yeah, I think it's going to be hard for Sagittarians, but okay. Okay, fine. Okay, so you're very special. It also happens, it's okay. So if you're very, very special and you trust you won't have any problems, build your business from the inside out. So here you have to iron things out. Triple, double check your paperwork and the fine prints. If you are buying anything, be very careful. And check your website and computer for viruses all the time. All the time. Rabbit year is going to be very quite fetching as to what people, quite hardcore, what people think of, and the different type of ingenuity sometimes that these, web people, internet people go towards, so there's going to be some very, very sneaky activity underneath it all that we won't probably even find out about. Get updates on your server, get updates on all your software regularly. It's a very hard year to be doing a lot of business online and not even knowing where half your income is going. It's very, very likely that some pages also are going to get closed down. So if you are working online, be very, very careful, very, very economical, and very scrutinous when it comes to checking your computer and software for viruses, when it comes to, opening the wrong emails. I've only done that once last year. That was so crazy. I had viruses on my computer a couple of times. It was so crazy. It's really intense. Sometimes, yeah, and then you got to fight it off, so you got to be very, very respectful here also, to other people. If you want, you can spruce up your network by being kind, giving free offerings to your client base, becoming more kind and nice and malleable. So I've seen quite a lot of online businesses recently, and basically what they have become is this big talking mouth with this talking head, and a lot of people are using marketing slogans and ploys to get clients. If you are one of those people, it's really important to get inside of your clientele and respect your clients, and understand what they're listening to, what they're feeling, what hardships they're going through, and become more family. So that's sometimes very, very hard for Sagittarius, unless you have a lot of Cancer and Virgo or something like that in your chart. It's very, very easy for certain people that have become down to earth in the recent years, but to be expecting quite a big gain, to be spoiled by, say, social media and what you see online, and then not respecting people enough and not being kind enough to them, you might lose your clients. So it's very, very important here for us, for anybody with Sagittarian rising or moon or sun. It's very, very, very helpful to start to grow better strategies, and they have to happen from the inside out. So it's not yeah, I'm going to market this, I'm going to market that, I'm going to throw this picture out there, and I'm going to, I don't know, get a few likes on that, and then I'm going to tell people about this, and I'm going to get some energy for that, or I'm going to talk to my boss, or I'm going to do this. All of these, I'm going to throw this out there. It's like a boomerang thing, and it usually would have worked. Last 5 years, it would have worked. I'm just going to throw this out there and see if it flies. And that definitely was working for me for a long time, and it helps a lot of people. And we've been looking for those fetching energies and those really hardcore personalities for a long time, and they've come through. But you see now there's oversaturation, also in terms of marketing, business, and also dating life. This is not just about the response you get from people. It's not just about your job, Also, when you are seeing somebody and you are extra emotional, or you're extra powerful, or you really want to put some juice into your conversation, you want to say something that doesn't mean anything or doesn't matter, but like it seems like it's a funny thing to say, I would definitely go in on those little details and cancel out some of those programs. So like being also a very programmable person, being a very naive person, sometimes it's important to walk out of danger and out of harm's way. And I understand what a lot of people have done is they've grown into love with risk taking and risky activity, also like, representing yourself in front of people, not just, your clients, maybe, or your work, but, also people that you're dating or people that you are meeting, and friends and family, being very risque. Like for about 20-30 years, it's been kind of like proud. It's like, wow, this girl's got pink hair, or like that guy's covered in tattoos. Wow, like that's cool. So that's going to start to die 2023. So if you're an older woman, like older gentleman, and you're tired of it yourself, you're like, I just really like, when will everybody grow up? So it's going to start. So if you're very, very traditional and you don't enjoy these really hardcore movements in society, and big mouths and big speakers and loud colors, and excessive sort of, I suppose, stereotypical self-enhancement or obsession with the image, is going to start to die 2023. So it's very important to lower the energy. So not everybody's going to do the best in the magenta dress. Not every person is going to do very well with a certain type of ethic. We are looking for something comfortable and kind. And I'm not telling you to play it up. I'm not telling you to get like the pearl earrings and the cardigan necessarily. I'm just saying that most of us are looking for mom or dad out of our educator now. So you see, Sag is a natural educator. It's a natural, good feeling vibe that helps other people thrive and go towards the right way. Like you are ushering us towards the road. And even if you are not very organized, and if you don't feel very good about yourself, there's always going to be a pinch of hope with you. And there is a grandness that you provide. It's like, hey guys, don't be lost. I'm over here. Hey guys, I'm over here. I'll tell you what to do. Like, I'll quickly explain to you how to do it. So there is a way that you are very proud for us to have in a group, and you're proud of us when we're learning. But the method of teaching people is going to change massively. So if you're working at a school or a university, or if you're running your own business or organization, we have to be so gentle, in 2023. If you're a yoga instructor, I don't know, if you're a masseuse, if you are a teacher, if you are even if you're a laborer, like it's very important to be conscious of your clients, very important to be kind. Think about the greater whole. So like, for example, you're building houses, think about natural organic materials that are better for the planet and for the person, If you are thinking about going green, fantastic. A very interesting way of getting clients going green, going healthy, going vegan, being like the better for you person. Also working with faith, if you are a Buddhist or a Christian or a Muslim, using your faith to huddle people up, to make them comfortable, to make them feel soft and gentle. So you are still the archetype of the leader and the master. It's just what is good and big and strong, what we admire, has already changed. So also I've noticed in the last couple of months, it is no longer going to be that big a deal, if a person is loud or hysterical. It was really helpful, and it purged a lot of people's laziness and issues, mental issues. But now it's going to be really the opposite. So it's like the tables have turned, and we're looking for something kind and young and gentle and fresh and maybe even fragile. We're looking for the warmth, because there's so much out there, and a lot of people have had to learn the hard way. So we're actually walking away from doubt and chaos and over-information, and we're trying to walk towards something soft and maybe even whimsical. So that was pretty much it. And also, you have to say that 24 is going to be a dragon year. So that's going to be very hard to astute. It's going to be very hard to inform yourself and to get ready in time. So if you are going to go big, you know, people say go big or go home. In 2024, if you're interested in becoming the grandmaster of something, if you're thinking of becoming a big ruler or a big machine, like, oh wow, I'm a machine, you know, that kind of thing, don't shun the little pretty perfect little people. 2023, it's very, very small and kind and a little bit, it's like a little tiny, you know, it's tiny. Going through things on a more conscious and surface level and being kinder this time is going to prepare you and oil your machine so that it can actually stand the test of time in 23 and 24. So in 25, we are going towards snake year, and it's going to be very calm and quiet again, but 26 eventually is going to be really nasty for some people. It's going to be the fire horse. Fire horse only happens once every few decades. It's a very scary year for some people. Fire horse is a very rare and very depressive year for some, and for some people there is a lot of rules and regulations, and there's a lot of trust and love and health needed. So if you're shunning those developmental years, you might not have enough energy, self-esteem, or sustenance for those later years to come. So try to see 23 as a kind of nurturing, self-teaching, educating year, and where kindness wins and where order is in control, and where maybe things under the surface are more important than what is outside. So it's no longer face value dreams and face value realities. And I feel that for you, a lot of things will just get evolved and self-solved by themselves. Thank you very much. Enjoy, and please hear the message after this announcement, after this video. If you'd like more insights on this year to come, please check out my Almanac for 2023. It has all the information for all the signs, and it is available in Kindle book form and physical book form as well. And also, if you like, have a look at my Patreon with all the details for every sign, for every month, and day-to-day prognosis. And yes, my website, of course, where you can read more about me, and if you like, you can get a booking as well. And yes, I do year ahead readings, which are very popular every year. And here's my retreat website if you're curious about coming to see me in Peru. And yes, of course, please like and subscribe. Thank you.